if I said to you, okay, let's all go. I'm going to take you out for a lovely Italian meal tonight, and your experience of Italian meals in the past has been overcooked pasta and congealed mess, and someone else is just the most amazing, I don't know, fish dish with vegetables, and was just absolutely fabulous. And I say, let's go to the Italian. Your associations are going to determine your choice, your past experiences. So how you code the association that you have with certain foods is clearly critical. Because if you code this as making you feel better, of course you're going to make that choice when you're not thinking. So you can consciously go, oh no, I'm going to have the fruit salad or a bag of nuts or something. That's a much better choice. But if you're under stress or in a hurry, when you're making your food choices without thinking, which is how we make the vast majority, we make around 200 decisions a day about food. And most of those, over 90%, are in our unconscious. They are conditioned habits based on the association that we have. And how do we get these associations? Well, we get these associations by our experiences and what we're exposed to. You know, you don't watch an episode of Sex in the City and see them all going to get some nice fresh pineapple. You see them going to get cupcakes and fairy cakes and you know, a glass of red wine when the wedding doesn't happen, and all of those things. And you watch Bridget Jones and you see all of these associations. You know, let's face it, there's not really anything that Haagen-Dazs doesn't fix in those kind of movies. And that's a very powerful association. And we're watching it without thinking. And your clever unconscious mind, which is always on the lookout for things that are going to make you feel better, goes, well, I'll copy that, because that worked. It doesn't go, well, I'll copy that, but it was a script. And actually, come to think of it, looking at Sarah Jessica Parker, she probably doesn't eat too many cupcakes. Or, oh, I'll watch that, but actually I did see an article on Renée Zellweger, and she had to gain weight to play Bridget Jones. So she doesn't really normally, now I've seen a picture of her 6 months after filming stopped. You don't do that retrospective process, you just make the association. Your brain goes, oh, they look happy, I'll have some of that, and copies it. And that's through a process in your brain using something called mirror neurons. And mirror neurons are literally, you see something that makes someone else happy and you mirror it. And the interesting thing about mirror neurons is that they were really discovered in the 50s when they were doing some work with monkeys and chimpanzees, and they were looking at food and pleasure, the association. So they had all of these animals in a cage with these little skull caps on, like little swimming caps, with all these little electrodes, and they could see their screens lighting up, and they were giving them bananas and food and watching which part of their brain would light up. And it's systematically the same part every time. So they were identifying the pleasure centers in the brain associated with food. Then everyone goes off out for lunch, except one researcher who'd bought his own lunch. So he's sitting with his back to the animals, starts eating his sandwiches, computers light up. He thinks, who's left the food? You know, they're eating food. Turns round, looks at the animals, and this monkey's just sitting looking at him like this. And its brain's going mad. So it's mirroring that. Now, when that becomes important is because our pleasure centers are more powerful in the anticipation of the reward than actually the reward itself. Have you ever looked forward to something and it's been a little bit of a disappointment, but you spent so long looking forward to it, and there's a little bit of a, was that it? But the enjoyment that you anticipate is neurologically more powerful than the reward. And so we start to see people and we think, oh, I'm going to do that. Or when I get home, I'm going to do that. And next time I'm hungry, I'm going to do that. And a lot of this is going on in our unconscious mind. And we're making these associations. So you can't help but wonder if in the Bridget Jones and the Sex in the City and every which other chick flick that has ever been out there, they had them saying, oh, you know what, let's just go out and have a really nice Greek salad. You just don't see it. But I wonder what the difference would be in terms of influence if we did have that. Because we're exactly the same as the monkeys, in that we watch other people. It's the same with children. You know, if you say to a toddler, you know, let's say you've got a little toddler and you say, I'm going to show you Rosie doll later or tomorrow. But let's say I say, oh, do you want to have this doll? And the toddler, no, I'm playing with this. Okay, so you give it to another toddler who lights up, and the toddler's going like this and loving Rosie doll. And suddenly this toddler starts throwing a wobbly because now it wants the toy. And it wants the toy because its mirror neurons have activated its pleasure centres. I can see that person having fun, and clearly that's the reason, so I need that. Have you ever had food envy? We do it all the time, don't we? Go to a restaurant, you think, no, I'm definitely going to have the chicken. Definitely going to have the chicken. What are you having? The fish? No, I'm definitely having the chicken. I wish I'd had the fish. I'm salivating over the fish, eating the chicken, paying no attention to what the chicken tastes like, because that person really looks like they're enjoying that fish. Like, oh my God, this fish is so good. This fish is so good. And the more they're saying it, the more your mirror neurons are going, I want that fish. And then suddenly you're going, well, I didn't really enjoy mine. Whereas if you hadn't seen the fish, probably would have loved the chicken. So this is how the brain works. So when we start to understand these things, we can start to manipulate them and take a little bit of control.